Hi, everybody. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Let me know. Hold up. Geez, here I'm thinking that we're prepared, but I'm not prepared. We have so much to get into, you guys. Welcome, 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 welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. For those that are coming through, I'm going to leave the people some time to get in here because I just started and I had pushed at 4 and I said, no, let's get started now. We have much to review. We have much to review, guys. We have much to review. Let me put my hair down, y'all, because I don't want to get a headache and we got to do some reading. Hey, Paige. Hey, Micah. Hey, G Man. Hey, Rhiannon. Don, Brady, Becca. Welcome. Just a T, please. C. Miller, Bo. Everybody. Shauna B's in the house. Welcome. Paige. Aw, thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. Now, I got to get super stickers. I think super chats you could put hearts on, but for whatever reason, super stickers it doesn't let me do that. So thank you so much for the $4.99. I appreciate it. What's the beverage today? I've had two. This is part two of coffee. Well, I've always been on my Christmas cups, y'all. So these are from last year. And I've used them all throughout, and they're still in good working condition. Hey, what is it? Welcome, Gwen. Shout out to I know you guys can't see the Twitter people. One is from Twitter. Shout out to all the Twitter people. Oh my gosh, thank you. And Sean, shout out to Sean. Sean, Ben's in the house. Ingrid, everybody, Venus Blue, Amanda. Hey Ann, how are you? Just do it, please. Erica's in the house. Sister Soul, Julia, welcome, love. Shout out to you. Who else? Who else? Unicorn Hustler. Ooh, that's cute. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ooh, the song. You like that song? I'm waiting for the people to get in here, guys, but we have so much to review right now that I wanna make sure we review, okay? Now, hold up. Pause. I don't need to hear myself, nor do I need to see myself speak. I be talking too much, too much. Hey, Kai. Hey, welcome. Hey, Miyu. How you doing, love? Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm giving the people some time to get in here since we just started. CD, welcome everybody. So it's been a busy gosh, it's been a busy Monday, news Monday. Is it just me who feels that way? It's been like one thing after another when it comes to Diddy, at least today. And I'm pretty sure I have a feeling this week's just gonna be Diddy crazy overall. There's gonna be new stuff coming up and about. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. Joining from work. All right. Well, shout out to you. Hope your work drive is great. I definitely I swear that you need to get off of work at 5 o'clock. In some places where you guys are at, depending on what side of the world, it's that traffic hour right now. Oh, I don't miss that shit whatsoever. Honestly, it is. It's a bit of a manic Monday. There is so much news about a lot of things. I have another video. I'm probably gonna drop it tomorrow because I don't have time today that I've been working on. Completely different off topic, but I'll drop it tomorrow. I have so much to say about this other topic. Literally so much going on. It is. Okay. Diddy's trying to get out for Thanksgiving, says Belen. I would probably say so. He's trying to do something for Thanksgiving. He's like, okay. We're gonna get into Diddy here because Diddy's definitely the topic. We have so many things to get into. So hey Gaslit, hey everybody, and hopefully everybody on Discord knows that we are live. Let me see. Make sure I tag everyone. We live now. Come on over. And I think I placed it in the open chat as well. All right. Yeah. Everyone, we are live now. We have so much to cover. Rabs, what happened now? Night Charm, what hasn't happened? I'll tell you. So, what's his name? Buzbee has decided to respond to these allegations of the lawsuit and extortion and all this other stuff. Here we go, guys. The news is newsing today. Let me just say this much. Tony Buzbee, lawyer for Diddy, accuser, slams extortion claims. Ooh, wee. Okay. So Buzbee, the Texas attorney repping more than 120 of Diddy's alleged victims, is firing back at a lawsuit accusing him of extortion. He says he won't be intimidated or have his clients silenced. So, honestly, like he's saying, I'm just not going to do it. So what is he planning to do? Is he going to air out the person? Is he going to air out the celebrity? I'm wondering what's going to happen. And what was so crazy is that people were saying, hey, with discovery and everything, this person's not going to be able to remain too anonymous for too long. So it does kind of make you wonder, what is this going to look like moving forward? Hey, listen, he says, here's the deal. Buzbee is being sued by a prominent individual identified only as John Doe. Now, some of you guys have said, it sounds like it might be a politician, politician. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence because it doesn't say like a public figure, it says prominent. So, meaning probably a lot of people know this person, very well known person, right? Here we go. Buzbee is being sued by a prominent individual identified only as John Doe, who claims Buzbee is shamelessly trying to shake him down by threatening to file a lawsuit packed with false allegations related to allegations S assaults at Diddy's party. Buzbee and his law firm aren't going down. They're not backing down. Though he tells TMZ, we won't allow the powerful and their high dollar lawyers to intimidate or silence sexual assault survivors. What's more, Buzbee says that the lawsuit filed against his law firm is not only without merit, also laughable. Laughable. I mean, I don't know who's laughing right now. I'm just saying, it's all these lawsuits, people with all this money. I don't know. I don't know. Shout out to Sylvia. It was like, listen, I'm a boss. Perks of being a boss, you could drive around. Shout out to you. I'm wondering who and what is. You think it's Matt Gaetz? It's got to be somebody that went to the parties but went to be an FO on a freak off to narrow it down. You said it's Jay-Z, G-Matt? Oh my God. It's against him or the law firm. I think it's both. I haven't seen the lawsuit and we're looking for it. I think it's both, Ingrid, because if I remember correctly, when Joseph Sherman was filing his lawsuit against Talia Graves, he sued Gloria Allred, he sued Talia Graves, Gloria Allred, and the law firm, all of it. So yeah. So Buzbee's saying, listen, I will not be silenced and I'm not going to let you intimidate me. That's what Buzbee is saying right now. So he says, we won't allow the powerful and their high dollar lawyers to intimidate or silence sexual assault survivors. Now, wait a minute, Buzbee. Aren't you like high dollar too? Because you got like gold doorknobs at your office. Like, I don't want to hear any fucking rich lawyer say that another rich lawyer is trying to sue them. Something's off about this. You think it's Mayor Adams? Potentially, very likely so. Oh yes. I think it's a politician, honestly. Okay. So Buzbee and his law firm aren't backing down. So what's more, Buzbee says the lawsuit filed against his firm is not only without merit, but also laughable. And he goes even further, saying that the suit is an abuse of the legal system. Buzbee tells us that he sent a standard demand letter to a New York. Oh, shit. Here we go. Buzbee tells us he sent a standard demand letter to a New York lawyer known to represent the individuals in question, seeking a confidential settlement on behalf of two clients. So there are two accusers? Two clients instead of a lawsuit. He says no dollar figure were concluded in the demand letter and no threats were made, contrary to the allegation in the suit against them. Hold up. So Buzbee's saying that this was just like a standard demand letter, right? To a New York lawyer known to represent the individual in question. But the lawsuit is filed in California. And this lawyer is in New York, and it's on behalf of two alleged victims. Two. Not one, two, right? Okay. And he says no dollar figures were included in the demand letter. Well, I mean, why would you send a demand letter unless you're not you're demanding something, right? Like, Ain't this weird? Okay, whatever. So, and no threats were made contrary to the allegations in the suit against him. In his response, Buzbee gets pretty testy, saying, I'm a U.S. Marine. I won't be silenced or intimidated. Can't even read. Intimidated. Neither will my clients. Okay. He's a U.S. Marine and he's not going to be silenced or intimidated. All right. Sounds like this dispute is about to get even uglier. Buzbee is now threatening to disclose the demand letters in an upcoming lawsuit. So far, Diddy's the only celebrity named in Buzbee's lawsuit, but he's making it sound like that possibility might change. Stay tuned. I told you guys. I told you guys. I said it. I said, watch. This is going to be a Buzbee move. He's going to start disclosing who are the people, who are the accusers. That's what's going to happen. That's interesting. That is interesting right there. It was a standard, so I guess there's no amount ever put in there. Yeah, like a demand letter, a demand to settle. Oh my God. You said the prominent person in the document that describes what he participated in W both Q and M many times, and then add the stories behind scenes online. There's the names. Okay, the participants with the letter D and both Q. So Q and M. Q and M. So that those are the celebrity participants. Is that what you? I'm confused by your comment, love. I really am. What are you saying about those? So yeah, like the demand letter is what are they demanding? That's my thought. Is Quincy? That's the first name that came to me, but I don't know. Thank you, Kelly Mack, for telling me to hit that like button, please, and thank you. Yeah. Civil court needs much less evidence for a judgment. Buzbee, you in danger, girl. Okay. Diddy females and men many times with Diddy. I don't know, man. It is too much. You said, can you repeat? Did he say he would out the accused and accused? No, Misty. Let me tell you what he said. Okay. He said, Buzbee is now threatening to disclose the demand letters in an upcoming lawsuit. So Busby's saying, like, listen, that you're saying that my demand letters are asking you for money because they're saying extortion for what? I didn't ask you for money, and my demand letters are pretty standard. So what they're saying is Buzbee is now threatening to disclose the demand letters in an upcoming lawsuit. So does that mean we're gonna get demand letters, but also we're gonna know who the fuck is who's in these letters? You think it's a basketball play? You think it's sports? I don't know if it's sports. I think it's somebody political. Wim is awake. Shout out to Wim. I listen, Buzbee said, you fuck around and you find out. Buzbee said, I'm a Marine. I don't know what to say. I don't. You said LeBron James page? Well, that's a good question. If he discloses, who is he going to redact it? Is he going to allow the person to remain like quiet? That's what I want to know. Oh my God. I'm telling you guys, this is getting more spicier than the jalapenos I had earlier. Oh my God. Let me just say that much. That's crazy, you guys. Okay. That's what Buzbee said. Now we got to go over here. By the way, I want to shout out, let me shout out a couple people. Sylvia and Sean. Sylvia and Sean, thank you guys again for helping me with the legal docs. You guys know what I'm talking about with your support and everything. I appreciate it. I'm able to get legal docs like this and more. So thank you for doing that. Y'all drop some hearts for Sylvia and Sean directly, who gave, basically helped with some of the legal docs because this shit costs money. So thank you guys. Okay, this just dropped. This is like hot off the presses, literally. So this morning, what did we say? This morning we said that Agnifilo, basically is accusing the government and basically saying that you guys are, taking client privilege information by doing these searches, yada, yada, yada. And so the government has said, no, bitch, we're responding back. We have something, we have a motion, and there's possibly, and I am cussing a lot, y'all, because the coffee's hitting now. Sorry, I'm sorry. Don't let your kids listen. I promise. Okay. Listen, they're responding back. They submitted something in the filing, right? Which is amazing. Thank you. Good. Yes. And Iron Rabbit just blessed us with 5 memberships. Thank you, Iron Rabbit. Shout out to Iron Rabbit. Put some hearts in the chat if you've been blessed by these wonderful supporters of mine. Yes, yes, yes. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing, Ingrid? I'm sorry, you guys. The it's the coffee. I'm trying to and it's a lot of damn reading, okay? Mm-hmm. Ooh, Bo, I hope you're doing well. Shout out to Bo who's healing from surgery. You guys drop some hearts for Bo. Ooh, I hate surgery. I'm sorry. And Wim just gifted 5 more memberships. Thank you guys. Aw. Wimmy Wim Wim and Iron Rabbit. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Put some hearts in the chat if you got a membership. Welcome everybody. Okay, so here we go. So this is the document that's just been submitted by the government. And of course, it's addressed to the judge. The government respectfully submits this letter in connection with the defendant's letter dated November 18th. Now, it's still the 18th. So Agnifilo submits the letter this morning, and now the government says, oh no, we're submitting another letter, like this tit for tat situation. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I got to go back to Twitter, but there might be a hearing tomorrow. I got to double check. Okay. So don't quote me. All right. So it says the government submits this letter in connection with the defendant's letter to dated November 18th in response to court order issues earlier today for the reasons that follow. The relief request by the defendant. Okay. Requesting an evidentiary hearing. So that's what Agnifilo was saying. Like, we need an evidentiary hearing because you guys collected privilege information and how dare you, that type of situation. Okay. On or about September 16, 2024, the defendant was arrested. The following day, the above referenced indictment was unsealed and the defendant was presented, arraigned before the honorable judge. Okay, so let's go to the defendant communication. Since being ordered detained, the defendant has been held at the Metropolitan Detention Center, Brooklyn. Okay, a BOP facility. Okay. With respects to inmate communication, all BOP inmates, including the defendants, are afforded the opportunity to confer with attorneys on unmonitored phone lines, other communications, other over BOP monitored phone lines and emails, as part of its general practice to screen monitor communication for content that could jeopardize the public or safety, security, or orderly operation of the facility. All right. Okay, great. So the BOP staff includes a particular BOP investigator. Investigator 1 has consistently monitored the defendant's communication on monitor communication channels, including monitor phone lines. This monitoring is dependent of the case team. Okay. The assistant United States attorney charged with the investigation and prosecution of the defendant. That is not done at its discretion. So, as said in the government's November 15, 2024 brief and made clear on the record during the previous bail hearing, the government's grand jury investigation of the defendant, including the defendant's obstruction related to this criminal case, is continuing. As part of the investigation, the government has sent grand jury subpoenas and documents requests to the BOP for the defendant monitored communications, including calls and emails from those materials. The government has learned that the defendant has persisted in engaging in obstructive conduct since he entered the BOP facility or custody. Among other things, the defendant has engaged in unauthorized communication practices, including 1, three-way calling on monitor phone lines, 2, use of other inmates' phone access code or PAC numbers to make phone calls on monitor phone lines, and 3, the use of third-party text messaging providers through the BOP's monitor email system. Each of these methods of communication is prohibited by the BOP. Furthermore, as set out in the government's November 15, 2024 brief, the defendant use these unauthorized methods of communication to continue to engage in obstruction, including by instructing third parties to reach out to witnesses and attempting to influence the jury pool in the criminal case. So, you said Diddy's lawyer also made calls, texts. That makes lawyer a big conspirator in RICO or furtherance of major crimes, says Rick Pat. I don't know. Three-way calls is a huge no-no, though, right? But you said three-way's been a thing forever? I mean, I would think that would be like a no-no, that you can't do that. I mean, I don't know. So there is a hearing. Thank you, Gordon. There is a hearing tomorrow. And I'm going to set, I don't know if I'll be available, but I might set the stream with the live chat so you guys can engage and be there. And it won't be vertical. It'll be a regular stream. I promise. Okay. But like I said, I might leave it running because I got to go pick the other child and, come back and forth and do, what I got to do. R with animals, you said, Erica? Oh my gosh. Okay. Quentin Tarantino, Color Me Oklahoma. What did I say? Oklahoma, Color Me Oakland. Well, you said Quentin Tarantino. You think he's got something to do with this? Okay, moving forward, the defendant has used all three of the aforementioned methods of communication to communicate with his attorneys. Accordingly, although it is clear to all parties involved that these calls and emails are monitored, in an abundance of caution, the government sent any potential privileged communication, any communication involving an attorney, to the filter team for review. Remember, we talked about that filter team, okay? Before it's released to the case team. So this is them explaining how they do shit, all right? As the government's longstanding practice in ongoing covert investigations, such as the investigation into the defendant's obstructive conduct in the MDC, the government did not disclose potentially privileged communication to defense counsel in the first instance. As stated in the government's opposition and the defendant's bail motion, the government intends to produce all the defendant's calls and emails in full to defense counsel today. So they're saying, listen, we're going to give you all the information, all the evidence, so that you know that we're not violating anything at this point. I mean, I think that's a good thing. If there's nothing to hide and then they're not obstructing, it kind of makes you wonder. Thank you, Jill, for gifting one membership. You guys put some hearts in the chat if you've been blessed by Jill or anybody else. Thank you, Jill. You know what I had a thought of? You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna say it. How do we know that, like, the Courtney Burgess, the Ariels, the Todds, the Toads, the Chris Todds and Toads, they're not obstructing and they're not playing a role in obstruction? How do we know they're not behind Diddy? Is that a crazy thought? Like, is it crazy for me to let me ask you guys, is it possible they're distractions, right, Kim? But we don't know anything. How do we not know that they're not behind Diddy? That they haven't been hired ops? You said Diddy parties in the showers, in the jail showers. Yeah, like trying to taint evidence. The whole Diddy situation as well. Nothing is off. Honestly, nothing's off the table. They seem they would take money from anyone. That's what I'm saying. That I'm like, how do I not know that all these people aren't, like, I'm reading this. How do I not know Courtney is one of them? You said you finally realized it. Well, Jasmine, I can't say that for certainty. That's why I'm asking. How do you know? Nothing's off the table. I mean, do you have facts or evidence of them actually being paid by Diddy to obstruct something? Because that would be a crazy thing to just say outright, but we don't know. So that's why I don't say it outright. I'm asking, how don't we know? Like, there's got to be operatives. If this guy is willing to use his own children as, like, puppets, you know what I mean? And use them to, use them to show as, like, he's a great dad, but he's never around. Suddenly he's like father of the year while he's behind bars. You got King running the IG and his social media. I mean, there's so much that could be said about the situation. We just don't know, But anyways. Yeah. You're right, right. Diddy's not trying to prove his innocence. Seems like the goal is a mistrial. You know what, Kissamooch? There you go. Bingo. He's not trying to prove his innocence. His goal is a mistrial. How do we know? Is it possible that these characters that have seemingly come out of nowhere, like the Courtneys, the Todds, the Chris Toads, and all these people that are not have never really known Diddy, they just fucking come out of nowhere? Like, weird, isn't it? So weird. Anyways, let's keep watching. Let's keep reading. So they're going to talk about the sweep of the MDC in or around October 28th. The BOP and several other facilities, or excuse me, federal and local agencies initiated a sweep. I think we heard about this of the MDC. The sweep was pre-planned and coordinated to ensure the safety and security of staff and inmates of the MDC and was part of a larger safety and security initiative and not in response to any particular threat or intelligence. I call bullshit on that. How often do you guys do sweeps? Are you guys doing sweeps? Because is it at random? Is it every 6 months? It's weird. It's weird. Okay. So it says they list a little resource here where you can find it. The MDC sweeps include the jails and the warehouse where the MDC food and other properties are stored. It was planned well in advance in defendants' arrests and not conducted to target any particular inmate, including the defendant. Okay. All right. They do it all the time? Says Betty. Okay. They do it all the time. Right. It's a national sweep. Okay. You said Diddy's attacking Buzbee now. Well, something is amiss. I'll say that. You just never know. Did y'all hit the like button? Let me know. Ooh, really? That's interesting. Okay. You said I agree that Ariel, Courtney, and Todd are paid distractions to muddy the waters through a mistrial. Sums up with this. Like, honestly, Quim's like, question, Diddy or not Diddy? Not Diddy. Not Diddy, Quim. Not Diddy. Thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you, he said. All right. So here we go. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Did I move my paper? During the MDC sweep, multiple housing units were searched, including the defendant's unit. Although the members of the case team were aware in advance that the defendant's housing unit would be searched in addition to other areas in the jail, no one on the case team supervised, conducted, or participated in the search of any housing unit, nor the search of the defendant's bunk area. In fact, the case team was not aware in advance of any agents and officers were conducting the search of that housing area. So Investigator 1 was assigned by BOP to participate in the week-long sweep and was present at the MDC during the operation. During the sweep of the defendant's housing unit, the Investigator 1 interviewed multiple inmates, including the defendant, about potential corruption and contraband at the MDC. Following Investigator 1 interviews of the defendant, Investigator 1 approached the defendants. Okay, so Investigator 1 approached Diddy. Diddy is the defendant, okay? So they're saying here, Investigator 1 approached the defendant's assigned bunk to check for contraband. So they're checking Diddy's bunk for contraband. On the defendant's bunk, Investigator 1 found the following items. Ooh, number 1, a manila folder marked legal. Number 2, a notebook labeled, and it's redacted. It's redacted. Number 3, an address book. And number 4, a personal effect. Investigator 1 felt the outside of the manila folder marked legal for contraband, and feeling none, set it aside and did not open or photograph it. With respect to the notebook labeled, it's redacted, and the address book, Investigator 1 took the photos of these materials. Investigator 1 left the material on the defendant's assigned bunk. No physical materials were seized from the defendant. I wonder what's the name of this book? I wonder. Okay, moving on. Following The MDC Sweep Investigator 1 alerted the case team that he had taken photos of defendant's notebook and address book. The photographs, Investigator 1 described the blank notebook as largely notes to self written by the defendant that included notes regarding blank. In abundance of caution, the case team asked Investigator 1 to provide photos directly to the filter team, given the possibility that they touch on legal strategy. Following review, the filter team then provided certain of the photographs to the case team, including photographs containing redactions. So that's interesting. Okay, here we go. So for reference, the government is including as exhibits photographs of the notebook labeled things to do. But why is that redacted? So it's the notebook is labeled things to do, and the address book as exhibit A, which contains redactions per the filter team. This is a full set of material from the BOP sweep that was provided to the case team. This exhibit is being filed under sealed pursuant to protective orders governing discovery in the case. Okay, well, the instant motion, November 8th. Okay, so they talk about the renewal of bail there. I'm not going to review this, but it says right here, at least one sentence. In addition, the government argued that the defendant was actively continuing his efforts to obstruct justice while in custody, including by, among other things, attempting to influence witness testimonies. That's what BJ read when she was reviewing this. In support of a potential witness and blank and other potential victims and witnesses, which had been provided to the government after review by the government filter team. Okay. On November 18th, defense counsel submitted a letter motion to the court arguing that the government was in possession of attorney-client privilege material, namely portions of the photographs which reflected a defendant's notes, which it argued were privileged notes to his lawyers concerning defense witnesses and defense strategies. The defense also argued that the government had urged in a target seizure of the defendant's material, which it argued amounted to a violation of defendant's constitutional rights. The defense therefore requests that the court hold a hearing to assess, among other things, who authorized the search of Mr. Combs' cell. So you guys remember there was a couple questions that they were asking, like who assigned this, who wanted this, like who said that they wanted. So this is what this letter is explaining, that it wasn't a targeted thing. It's something that they do. They do these checks, but I guess this is what was found. All right. You said raid is different than a regular search. Right. That's a good point. Like, was it a raid or was it a regular search? That's a good point. They do random searches, but the way they're making it sound like they just raided his whole bunk area, which I'm like, but like you're in jail, like none of this is your property. You know what I mean? Right, Rick. Like you'd be a fool to think you have some kind of rights in prison. I mean, there's not going to be privacy, right? These checks are normal. Okay, you got no privacy. I don't know. But see, if we're not careful, this could lead, like, couldn't this be like a big thing? You know what I mean? Where it's like mistrial or something like that. You know, we have to be careful. You think he's trying to muddy the waters? Says high five. You think he's trying to muddy the waters? You said they have to document everything that happens. They have to state all because it's on camera. They don't write it, then it never happened. Right. He's in jail, not in prison. It's very true. So we have to keep that in mind. I mean, it may be different facility, but I mean, I don't know. Keep that in mind. You said his lawyers know he has no case, but he and his friends have enough money to cause a lot of public chaos. They just want enough confusion for a mistrial. My prayers go out to his victims. Okay, well, and that's just giving you guys an idea of what they're saying here. But apparently they took pictures. Now, I'm not going to read the relevant laws. Let's see. Let's talk about the discussion. Let me see. I think it's like 8. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay, discussion. First, the fact that the photographs were taken was entirely proper. They were taken during a pre-planned sweep of the MDC, which was organized, initiated, and executed by the BOP staff with the assistance of multiple federal and local partners of the purpose for the purposes of safety and security of the inmates and staff. And to address persistent issues that have risen from the MDC, including issues that the defendant himself complains of. Huh. Given that this is a major law enforcement operation was planned well in advance of the defendant's arrest, there can be no credible argument that the MDC sweep itself was meant to target the defendant. Okay, so I guess they're saying they planned this shit. Oh, they planned this before Diddy's arrest? Like this had already been scheduled? Is that what they're saying? Because that's what it sounds like. This is normal, right? Epps, like it's only getting attention because of Diddy is there. But what Agnifilo is saying, if I remember correctly, I mean, he's saying something to the effect of like, it's unlawful, and they took some of the client attorney privilege communication, that type of situation. But I'm listening to how they documented things, and it sounds like he just went in there. He didn't look in the manila envelope. He took a picture of it. I mean, he did standard stuff. So they're going to have a hearing about this tomorrow, by the way, just so everybody's aware. So there's going to be a hearing of this, and I highly doubt that they're going to want a press conference, but they're going to review everything that they have here to figure out what's going on. It's like a CYA. I would be CYA too, like take pictures. I don't want to, number one, I don't want to lose my job or get in trouble or cost the case of of this magnitude. You know what I mean? Okay, given that this major law enforcement operation was planned well in advance, the defendants, okay, we read that part. Okay. So to make there can be no credible argument. I need to wear my glasses, y'all. Why do I need glasses? Hold up, y'all. Cuz I can't read this part. Here it is. Here it is. Where did I leave off at? Okay. So it was well planned. There can be no credible argument that the MDC sweep itself was meant to target the defendant. So they have a quote there: holding the evidence recovered during a search of a preliminary inmate's cell when it was initiated by prosecutors and not by prison officials for security reasons could be challenged for violation of the Fourth Amendment. Indeed, no member of the case team conducted or was present during the search and only learned about the photographs once the search was completed. In sum, there is no evidence to support the defendant's weak suggestions that investigator one taking photographs of the defendant's notes was a targeted seizure, nor is there anything improper by investigator one taking the photographs. Investigator one, who had reviewed the defendant's calls and emails in which the defendant overtly and persistently engaged in conduct that violated BOP rules and regulations, was entirely justified in inspecting the defendant's assigned bunk to recover additional evidence related to those violations and to ensure the security of the BOP facility. Now this is where I'm a little bit lost, okay. Okay, the government is saying this. They're saying that, listen, he's over here violating the BOP policies. He's doing three-way calls. He is using people's text messages and stuff like that. Agnifilo's not even addressing any of that shit. So Agnifilo, like, did your client do this? Because if that is the case, then your client is violating BOP policies and stuff like that. Like, you cannot be buying out people and saying, oh, I'm going to use somebody's messages or stuff like that. You notice that Agnifilo is not addressing that issue, but is saying that his rights have been violated. But the government is saying something different here. They're saying that, listen, this is standard searches. The concern that we have is that this guy is literally using somebody else's stuff, minutes, call logs, three ways. That's violation. Agnifilo's not even addressing that. He's saying, no, my client's been violated. What the fuck? Your client's not following the rules. What do you guys think in the chat? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, hold up. Yeah, he's trying to get. You said he is now trying to corrupt the jail, be the kingpin in there. He couldn't run the city. Did he run the city? Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, he just act like he didn't even see that part. Right, Jasmine? I'm like, okay, are you going to address the part where they're saying that you literally are violating the BOP rules by text apps and being in three ways, but you over here talking about they're violating your rights? It's weird. Yeah, like you said Diddy's is corrupt. He went to all the Diddy parties. Kim's like, Agnifilo, were you at the Diddy parties? We the people want to know. He is but it's just it's hidden me because I read the other letter and now I'm reading this one. I'm like, you're not even addressing the argument. You're literally pulling at straws at this point. Okay, so, anyways, moreover, Investigator One, who is not even bound by any privilege doctrine that may affect the case team, took steps to respect the potential privilege of the defendant's personal effects. Investigator One specifically did not examine the Manila folder labeled legal. He confided his why can't I read? He confided his review of material to the notebook labeled blank. Moreover, none of the steps taken by Investigator One while he was searching the defendant's bunks were done at the case team direction. Indeed, case team was not aware at the time that the Investigator One was participating in the BOP sweep. So BOP sweeps are kind of standard, I guess. But they're saying like, listen, we're just following standard procedures that had already been scheduled before Sean Diddy Combs was arrested. So it was already there. So there is no targeting of Sean Diddy Combs behind bars. That's what they're trying to say. Okay. Second, the government use of a filter team to review the photographs in the first instance is entirely appropriate and adequately protected any potentially privileged documents, as is consistent with the practice in this district. The filter team reviews segregated potential privileged material as evidence in the redactions contained in the photographs. Okay. This approach is eminently reasonable. And they have a quote there. Here were the photographs related to the government's ongoing covert grand jury investigation. The government has no. Oh, somebody's calling me. Stop calling me. I'm live. The grand jury the government has no obligation to seek defense counsel view of the privilege determinations made by the filter team. Finally, the photographs and what is depicted in them are not privilege. Okay. The defendant doesn't argue, nor could he, that the notes in the photographs were prepared for the purposes of obtaining legal advice. Contrary to defense counsel's mischaracterization, the photographs do not reflect notes to the defendant's lawyers concerning defendant's witnesses and defense strategies. Rather, the photographs depict the defendant's wide-ranging notes to himself, including notes related to the defendant's business interests, his release of music, and family matters, among other things. Under the law, these sorts of notes are not protected by the work product doctrine. Oh, okay. Even if there was disclosure of privilege material to the case team, that alone is not a basis for the relief that the defendant seeks. Indeed, in order to be entitled to a hearing to determine whether the prosecutor was tainted by exposure or privileged information, defendants have the burden of showing a factual relationship between the privileged information and prosecution. Okay, the defendant has not done so here, particularly given the government's good faith use of a filter team. Oh man. So defendant appears to assert that the photographs are protected by both attorney client and work conduct or work product privilege. The attorney client privilege protects communication between a client and his attorney that are intended to and in fact were kept confidential for that purpose of obtaining or providing legal advice. Okay. And because the attorney client privilege stands in search for the truth or essential to the effective operation of any system of justice. All right, so they list the doctrine In conclusion, hold up. Let's see. The parties asserting either privilege bears the burden of establishing its applicability. All right. August, there's the I'm not going to read the quotes, but anyways, so here's the conclusion. For foregoing reasons, the government respectfully submits that an evidentiary hearing is not required or appropriate under the law. Well, exhibits sealed, and we ain't getting no exhibits on this filing. We have no exhibits. Now, they did say, hold up, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Here, you guys know Inner City Press has been following this, but I'm pretty sure there's a hearing. Okay. The US, this is the document I just read, you guys, by the way. So we are ahead of the game. Shout out to us. Shout out to the people that supported our channel to get these legal documents. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So the US Attorney's Office has just replied with the doctrine under seal, photographs of the note, yada, 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 to do things to do. Okay. Now let's see. This was 3 hours ago. Diddy docket. Judge has ruled endorsement. The government must respond by 5 p.m. today. The court will hold a hearing on this matter tomorrow, November 19th, at about 3 p.m., courtroom 15A, unless the parties mutually agree to a remote conference. Oh, shit. If there was a remote conference, that line is going to be flooded and there's going to be a lot of people there. Oh, my God. Here it is. So Sean Diddy Combs for bail then cited privilege U.S. opposes with sealed photos from sweep. Okay. And so I guess we have a hearing tomorrow. That's what's going to happen. You guys, that is crazy. You said, be humble. Be humble. Sit down, Diddy. You're in jail. This happens when you're a criminal in Sacramento halfway. Yeah, like, I'm like, Diddy really thinks? What is Diddy thinking right now? You guys think his rights were violated? What do you guys think? I mean, honestly, look, Sean Diddy Combs, again, Sean Diddy Combs is accused of organizing, can't even read, relentless campaign to blackmail witnesses from prison. And we kind of know this from the documents, but it's like this whole thing has just become like, oh my God, back and forth. You don't even have to be a fucking lawyer to understand. Like, this is just so interesting. I mean, you got the Rolling Stones even reporting on the whole extortion thing. That's how serious this thing has become. I don't know. Shine recalls Diddy offering him $50,000 after his 10-year prison bid. You can't be serious. Botox. Ooh, I don't want no Botox. They're offering me free Botox. Did the prosecutor submit a filing today? Yeah, they already submitted it. We just read it. That's what we just read. So I think they're going to move forward with this hearing. We'll definitely talk about it. But so now Shine is saying in Diddy News, because we are talking about Diddy, Shine recalls Diddy offering him $50,000 after his 10-year prison bid. You can't be serious. I don't know, man. Unless it was a legal folder, it's not privileged information. Well, I mean, the thing is that Agnifilo didn't even address. Let me see. Let me go back to Agnifilo, because that's what kills me about Agnifilo. I'm like, you just said that his rights were violated and yada, 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 yada. Hold up. This right here. He said, first, who authorized the search of Mr. Combs' sleeping area, personal effects, and paperwork? Well, the government answered that in the paperwork. Okay. And then he says, second, who determined what paperwork to take? I guess there was no determination. They just took and did they take paperwork? I didn't really understand. I didn't think they did. They just took pictures. Third, who decided to give this paperwork to the United States Attorney's Office? So, I mean, he's got questions. I guess. What do you guys think? And somebody said in there, who authorized the search? They do searches anytime they want, and personal property doesn't matter. You know, Diddy's gonna Diddy. That's what Diddy's gonna do. What do y'all think about that? You said, what about the victims' rights violated by Diddy? Right, Misty? I mean, it's just like, Um, Diddy's gonna Diddy, you guys. That's what Diddy's gonna do. That's what he's gonna do. Yeah, aren't random searches random? Right. Like tell them like they're supposed to do random searches. Did he realize that he's behind bars or is it just me? But I mean the government did respond back. I don't know. Are they gonna have a hearing tomorrow? I'm kind of wondering what this is gonna look like. And yeah. He said, but they're gonna have a hearing and then what they gonna do? They're already in jail. Are they trying to add more to the case? Well, that's the thing, is like, all right, say that I mean, because if he gets in trouble for like any of this, say he gets in trouble for phone calls, because I think that they can add time to that, or at least he can be in trouble for that, because that's intimidating like witnesses. He's not supposed to do that, right? So I think criminally, yeah, it's an issue. It's like he thinks he can use the public suspicion eye towards the prison industry in his favor. Searches are common, no violation. Well, Diddy's gonna learn it is what it is, right? He's going to learn. You said it's not the taking of the documents that is the problem. It was giving them to the prosecution that violates his rights. There you go, Angel. I think you just said it perfectly. What made that? If that is a question, I think that Agnifilo maybe should ask this. It's like, what made them? What made What's the word? What made them have like a red flag to say we're going to give these documents over to the prosecution? You know what I mean? But if you are behind bars, like expect this shit. Like expect searches and seizures, expect people listening to your calls. You cannot be a kingpin at this point. Now, what evidence? This is my question for the government. And maybe this is the evidentiary hearing that needs to happen because this would be helpful. What evidence does the government have to show that he was getting on these three-way calls and using other people's phone stuff? Because that would be a question to really ask. Like, what evidence do you have for this? Do they have recordings? Do they have something? And if that's the case, then Diddy's really fucking stupid. Like, come the hell on. What made you think that? Oh my god. What made him think that he wasn't like he was gonna get away with this shit? That's what I want to know. Yeah, like, oh well, Rando girl. I mean, and is that even something that he needs to do? Does he need to use illegal ways? Because I thought that if there was somebody that you can call in while in jail, is you can call your attorney. If not, if I remember correctly, at least that you can call your attorney anytime, and there's no problem with that. There shouldn't be any problem with that. So it makes you wonder. Yeah, Ingrid. And by the way, those PCF call, those prison calls, they're you can FOIA those. I'm wondering about those. They can FOIA any of those. And what prisoner or what person in jail let them use the stuff? The phones and stuff like that. And are they going to lose their privileges? Did you say what time the hearing was? Is tomorrow? Yeah, I think tomorrow it is. At least they said. Let me see what Inner City Press said. The hearing is tomorrow, and I'm going to set up a stream, but I might not be here. I'll just leave it running because I'm pretty sure people are going to be like wanting to know what's going on. The hearing is, hold up. Did I lose it? I just said it. Damn it. Let's see. I'm checking, y'all. I'm checking. Yeah, I lost it. I thought that they scheduled it tomorrow at 3 Eastern. I couldn't remember that was, I think that was the time. Pretty sure it was the time. Tomorrow at Eastern. 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Pretty sure you're going to have a lot of people over there because they're going to want to know what the hell's going on. Yeah, I don't know where I'll have to find it. Hold up. Let's see. Let me see. Let me go to my bookmarks real quick. Okay. No. Where'd it go? I'll have to find it. I had it tagged. I'll have to find it. I don't know where it's at. Yeah, but that's what they said. They said it was going to be like tomorrow at 3. Gordon, it was at 3 p.m. tomorrow? I'm pretty sure we said 3. Yeah, I think I said it was 3. We'll definitely look into it. Unless it is the lawyer's line hat and is private. All others are recorded. It's against the rules to use another person's code. That's what I thought too. I'm like, why are you using another person's code? And okay, like the way I imagine this is that they're sitting in the jails or whatever, and then they have a designated phone area. Are they going somewhere else to do this? To make these calls? I'm wondering. I'm wondering. Bro, Scott Baio. Scott Baio called out some of the names of the attendings on the TikTok. Are you sure Scott Baio didn't go to these parties too? Scott Baio. I'm sorry. I don't know how I feel about Scott Baio. He's suspect to me. My opinion, though, y'all. My opinion. Yeah. Okay. Definitely. Just what you heard. All right. So we're going to do it tomorrow. Shout out to you guys. If you guys want to come over and watch it, I'll leave it probably recording or going on because I got to go tend to some other stuff. But y'all, I mean, we'll see what happens. Okay. We'll see what happens. I know Scott Baio's got his own. Let me tell you, anybody that's calling out people, I'm like side eye. Like, you Scott Baio? Yeah, I don't know. That's just my thought. Thank you. You said when he called his attorney, they don't record those calls. Yeah, Donnie, they don't record. Like, you don't get the calls recorded by your attorneys. But like, how stupid can you be, Diddy? You're using somebody else's line, and the attorney's not even arguing against this. That's what gets to me. Diddy, answer the fucking question. The government is saying something different. This is gonna be a very interesting hearing. I wish I was a fly on the wall. What if it's a conference, like a Zoom call? Oh, we'll find out. That's gonna get broadcasted everywhere. Well, no, it won't, because it's federal. Yeah, no, it'll probably be a close hearing. But how are they gonna get the information out? Now I'm kind of wondering. I don't know. You said, Rabbit, why doesn't he have a burner phone? Now his attorneys aren't that good. No. So what was he thinking? I don't know. Like, is he really that stupid? Is he? Well, I mean, hell, this shit that he's doing, he had plenty of time to, change his life. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. Really, Belen, you know what, Belen? I think you're right. This is like, I hope Ray J gets some help. But I don't know why Scott Baio is inserting himself in this. Scott Baio, why are you inserting yourself in this? If you know something, fucking say it. But don't like insert yourself. Is he inserting himself in the Diddy parties too? Some of these people, guys, are just inserting themselves to revive a career that's diseased. Y'all know that, right? Like, we know that. Please sit down, Scott. Scott, sit down, because there are other people that have said shit about you. You are the last person to speak out, Scott. Sit down, Scott. Tell Scott to sit down, okay? Gotcha, Ro. Tell Scott to sit down, because literally he is the last person to say shit. Honestly. Go sit down, Scott. Go sit down. That's what I got to say about Scott Baio. That's my thought. And I'm just a regular person. That's what I got to say about that. Okay. Do you think Diddy can pay off Cassie to testify in favor? No. Oh, no. Oh, no. No way. No way. I don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think so, y'all. Don't think so. But anyways, guys, shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Somebody said in the chat that y'all wanted me to play the song one more time. I'm still editing some of the things with the song. Like, I want to put like some graphics. But let me know what y'all want to hear it again. Did you guys hear the new intro song? I'm excited. Shout out to Danny Robertson. She totally hooked us up with this song, and I'm in love. It's such a bop. People were talking about it. You say, yeah, go sit down, Scott. Sit down, Scott. You need to go sit down, Scott. That's what you need to do. Let me know what you guys think. You said, I think his lawyers is just doing his job and throwing spaghetti. I think so too, Rem. You know what? The lawyer's going to lawyer. They're going to do what they're going to do. Play it again? All right, I will. Hold up. Let me see if I can get it. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Danny Robertson. If Ahmad can drop Danny's channel, please and thank you. I got to what is the word? Ooh, and you guys make sure you guys check out BJ too. Oh, hold up. This is the song. This is the gone. Here we go. Hit that like,
Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. True crimes is my specialty. Exposed in the industry. Unsolved mysteries. Sticking to reality. Fair use commentary. Talking about cults. Trying to get results. Exploring cults. Researching, debunking, investigating, being nosy, super nosy, being messy, being shady, rabbit hole news. That's me, the chick with ADHD, unmedicated, but quite educated. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Hit that like. Let's go. Let's start the show.
I love it. You guys don't even know. Anyways, so I gotta get the graphics going. We'll get that song going and everything. Yo, I'm excited. Thank you. Shout out to Danny Robertson again. You guys make sure you check out. I'm gonna upload the song by itself. I told Danny I was gonna do that, and then I'm gonna tag her channel. You guys go subscribe. Let's get Danny Robertson to fucking 20,000 subscribers already. We need to get her up there and get her going because she is really amazing at the stuff that she does. She's amazing, y'all. Okay, I will see you guys. Oh, and like I said, I'm gonna upload it. So y'all want to play it on your own, you can do that. But I gotta chop up the song and do some graphics and stuff like that. So when we get the the intro and the outro going, but that's definitely a bop. So we need to do merch with your people. I know, Kim. I know. I promise, yo. I promise. I gotta do it. I promise. I know, right? You said you want I could do that. I could keep the little rabbit running through the rainbow going crazy. It's all in the mind. It's all in the head. That's how it is. Definitely. All right, you guys. I will see you guys later. Go check out BJ. She's live right now, you guys. Go check her out. Make sure you send her some loves. Tell her that I sent you. Go over there. I'll see you guys on the next one. I got to end the stream. Bye, guys.